gorgeous, it is Natalie here. I am the holistic nutritionist behind Glow Nutritional Consulting, and I wanted to pop on tonight with a couple of meal ideas that will help you if you're looking for a lunch that you can take with you on the go, that you don't have to heat up, so that if the only kind of way to heat things up, if you're at an office or somewhere else throughout the day, if the only thing they have to heat something up is a microwave and you're looking to stay away from those, I wanted to give you 3 different kind of ideas to help inspire you into what you can bring with you that you can pack the night before, so that you have food for yourself to nourish yourself even if your next day is busy, and so that you don't have to go out for takeout food if you are if that tends to be a trap for you. So welcome, and if you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments. The first one I wanted to let you know about was a chickpea salad, but stay with me and we'll make it interesting for you. If you throw chickpeas into the bottom of a container, and then you throw an awesome, super tasting dressing on top of those, I have a favorite. I meant to check beforehand and I didn't, but Fresh restaurant chain in Toronto has a cookbook that has their house dressing recipe in it. If you can search fresh house dressing, there's an awesome flax oil based and olive oil based dressing that is super healthy for your body. So that tends to be one of our favorites here. But if you throw that any kind of vinaigrette or tangy, that tends to be my favorite. So I should just take a pause out here and say all of these are going to be catered to my favorite foods or my favorite sets of flavors. If you don't love Mediterranean style eating, if you're not a huge fan of like tomatoes and cucumbers and lots of herbs and vinaigrette style stuff, or some of the beautiful beans out there, then you change around whatever you don't like for veggies that you do. So I'll kind of give you guys some options that way. So what's really cool is that if you set up your salads, and there's lots of mason jar salads on the internet that can help point you in this direction, but if you set up your salads with the beans taking up the bottom kind of third of your container, and then you throw your dressing on top of that, the dressing sinks down and it doesn't touch any of the lettuce or the veggies on top, so that none of them go soggy by the next day. So you throw your chickpeas down on the bottom, tomatoes, avocado, cucumbers, any veggies you super like. You can throw the dressing in first, so that there's a layer of dressing, the chickpeas that cover it and prevent the dressing from getting up to the veggies, your favorite veggies, and then some kind of green or sprouts or really finely diced up kale, anything like that. Is a super awesome salad that becomes very portable, that all you need to do to eat it is, if you have like a glass lock or like an airlock kind of container, is shake it upside down, the dressing gets on everything, and then you have this beautiful salad already made that has some nourishing, sustainable energy sources in there like the chickpeas. Otherwise, I have seen so many people just try and survive on some kind of a weight loss diet with bowls of spinach and calling those bowls of spinach salads, and it can be so depleting when you are not actually loading up your salads with actually energy sustainable foods. So make sure you're getting chickpeas on there for complex carbs, B vitamins, and energy throughout the rest of your day, for some protein in there, and then make sure that you're getting a really high quality fat so that your body uses it instead of kind of adding to fat stores and that kind of stuff. So things like flaxseed oil revs up your metabolism, olive oil is fantastic, so those are great sources there. So that is the first night before packable lunch that you do not have to heat up the next day. You can do these depending on your specific tastes. I don't love when I've cut up veggies like a couple of days in advance, but Christopher doesn't mind it. So it depends on your unique taste if you can actually make this like a couple of nights, like a couple of containers of salads. But I will leave that part up to you, or if you make them every night the night before. So that part is up to you. I don't like when my cut up veggies get kind of soggy tasting the next day, so I prefer to do them at nighttime right before. So that is number one. Number two is something we started doing when we were taking the train places out to various parts of the beautiful country to see various family members. So one of our favorite things is to do these kind of I'm a huge kind of snacker. I like, one of my favorite, if I just had to choose like my favorite meals out there, is kind of like those antipasto platters, I think they're called, where it's like roasted red peppers and delicious like all kinds of like assortments, pickles and olives and all of that kind of stuff, and if there's any vegan cheese on there, or grilled mushrooms, or all of that kind of stuff is like my super favorite. So I prefer to have like lots of different pieces for lunch. So if you're more of a snacker, then I wanted to include this one so that you can kind of break the idea of other people's traditional lunches and get into something that feels really good to you and feels really kind of intuitive, and something that is still really nourishing and still hits the nutrients that you need to take in, but also kind of caters to what you kind of feel or would really like or would feel really good eating. So I love doing, and this one we do with like these section containers, almost like the bento box kind of style containers, where one section is hummus, another section is either Mary's crackers, or there's these R.W. Garcia, the sweet potato, they're gluten-free crackers as well. Either one of those are a total hit. And then some sliced up Daya cheese as like the blocks that you can get. And then another section of cherry tomatoes and olives all mixed together. And then usually I'll bring a little cup or something of grapes or blueberries or some kind of fruit that looked beautiful at the grocery store. So that can be another awesome. It can all get packed the night before. If you're just doing it one night before, the crackers I find can go in the fridge. If you're doing it a couple of these, and this is something that, because nothing really kind of goes mushy or anything like that, I find it's okay to do a couple of days in advance. So that is a nice thing too, because then you can make a few and bring them all on like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or whatever. So if you're making a few though, I would keep the crackers out, and then first thing in the morning just whip the crackers in that 1/4 and head off. Because you've got the hummus in there, you can also throw in kind of carrot sticks or celery sticks or cucumber sticks or anything like that to be able to dip in the hummus as well, if you would like to stay away from the crackers. But I like having the complex carb in there of the crackers to keep your energy levels going. So that is the second night before packable lunch that doesn't have to be heated up. I hope this helps you guys out so much. And then the third one was something that I saw somebody eat very frequently in nutrition school. And I gotta tell you, I'm not a huge fan of grain bowls. They just always feel very kind of like heavy to me. But I know some people love them, and that's fantastic because they can pack a serious nutrition punch all in one go. So the general kind of style that I saw people eating was like some kind of a whole grain, and then organic edamame beans thrown in, and then some kind of like a curry sauce and a couple of other diced up veggies. Pretty easy going, and was really good cold as well, so it didn't have to be heated up. It was almost like a rice salad then. That was one option. The kind of similar one that I have totally eaten the next day or had cool the next day is a Blender Girl recipe. So if you haven't found her, you can search up the Blender Girl and you will find her. She's absolutely amazing. And she has a quinoa, it's called, in her cookbook, it's called the Cheerful Chimichurri Bowl, I think. And it's this amazing kind of green dressing, and then that you make yourself, and then you cook quinoa and you roast a whole bunch of different veggies. You could also marinate and grill up any tofu steaks or any tempeh in some kind of like a smoky marinade or something like that, and then you can throw that all together. The green sauce, she uses a bunch of herbs that I don't like, so always feel free when you, especially with herbs, which can be very forgiving. If there are some that you love, like I could eat my arms full probably of basil, absolutely love it, and oregano's the same, rosemary's the same for me. but I'm not a huge fan of parsley. Cilantro I can do some, but I like it more as like a garnish instead of a full like ton amount. So I switched out most of the herbs for things that I do like. So it was mostly basil, oregano, maybe a little bit of thyme, whatever else she called for, and just kind of took the place of the parsley that I think she calls for. And then otherwise it's like green onions in there and apple cider vinegar, and I think there's a little bit of olive oil, and it just turns into this beautiful, almost like pesto feeling sauce. When you use an F-load of basil, it turns into that. So, and then you can throw it on quinoa or any kind of whole grain that you have cooked in, if you have it stored in the fridge. And then just throw in any vegetables that you were having. So oftentimes if we've made tacos or something here, we'll have onions and peppers and stuff. So whatever you have from meals past, if you've stored them in your fridge as leftovers, toss them into and mix up your kind of grain, throw on an awesome sauce, and you are pretty much good to go. And those things, especially if you use a nice dressing, are really, really good cold as well. So you don't have to heat those up. So those are 3 awesome meals. What I will say is that if you tend to be cold during the winter, and luckily here we're getting into the sunny days and it's so super nice, but if you tend to be a little bit cold, especially I found through the winter, then make sure that you add either a little bit of hot pepper, a little bit of hot sauce, or a little bit of ginger powder, or anything like that that's a warming spice. Cinnamon, which doesn't go well super in like lunch style flavors. I don't personally use it a lot in lunches, but it can go really nicely in different teas or things like that. That can help to kind of, even though you're having a colder meal or like a cool meal for lunch, that can really help to bring up your internal heat a little bit so that you're not kind of shivery if you're in a chilly place. But also the complex carbs will be burned up for energy pretty quickly, and you will find that your heat levels go up. So you shouldn't find yourself be too chilly. We balanced out a lot of the nutrients in here. Usually there's a great source of fat, there's a great source of complex carbs, so that you are fueled through your day. And I made sure as well to include some protein suggestions so that you again can repair any muscles if you've been working out, or just get in the needs that are very helpful for your beautiful body. So that is all. I hope that helps you out tons. If you have any questions at all, or if you would like some help in your health, then let me know. Send me a message or leave a comment below and we'll get in touch. Otherwise, I am on these videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening here on Facebook. So if you have anything that you're kind of working through right now, let me know in the comments and I will grab that for another topic so I can help you out even more. So that is all for tonight. I hope that helps you out tons. Let me know which meal you are going to make for your lunch tomorrow, and I look so forward to helping you out again in the future. Bye guys.